So Hong Kong here with a pretty strong team.
Yeah, I think so. In fact, both of these, as you can see, both of these girls are in the same pool, and they ended up in a pool with one of our guys who are making his international debut, Jason LeQuay, and he pulled them first up. The first 2 games of his international career was against 2 world-ranked players. So he had his work cut out for him, but he managed to get over the top of the boat. So
they've got some strong contenders in the BC4.
Oh yeah, very
5 and
much
6
so.
in the world.
Yeah,
we're going to see Yeung later in the day, number 6 in the world.
And when you see both of them in the pairs competition together, they're dynamite. They really are.
They'll be hard to beat with those rankings.
Oh, absolutely.
So Karen has the red for this match. Just waiting for the officials to give them the green light. We talk sort of generally about the strong nations in the sport. Korea, I understand in Seoul, they've got an AIS sort of scale facility, especially for athletes with disability.
Yeah, so I've heard. I haven't seen it, but I was lucky enough to meet the director of Boccia from Korea the other day. I asked him, rather tongue-in-cheek, if we could visit his country for a training camp. I'm not sure he took me seriously, but but I don't plan to leave it there. I plan to keep going.
It's a double-edged thing, isn't it, sharing your expertise? You want to be hospitable,
yes.
You want the world to improve in sport, but you don't want to give all your trade secrets away.
Well, we tried to impress upon him that he'd only just be helping us beat Great Britain, and everyone wanted to beat Great Britain.
A shared enemy.
Yes.
That doesn't seem right. But it's just wonderful to have this competition here. It's a dozen years since the Paralympics of 2000 in Sydney that did so much to really educate the Australian public as much as anything about the possibilities and the achievements of people with disability in sport.
Yes, absolutely. Having something like that in your own country just makes it so much more accessible for everybody. And in fact, I know friends of mine who missed out on tickets for the Olympics, took up tickets for the Paralympics, and we're very, very glad they did.
All right, we're underway.
We're away.
And Karen Kwok sends the jack just out on her side, as we've come to expect.
Yes, absolutely.
And these the BC2
Karen
athletes
is not going to be happy with that. She's given her opponent a very big target to aim for there.
Immediate difference for those people watching these championships, Rob, between BC2 and BC3. Do you sort of summarise it for us?
Okay, generally BC2 athletes have cerebral palsy or some kind of brain injury. BC3 can also have cerebral palsy or a brain injury, but we often get MD or spinal muscular atrophy, which is what Dan has. And of course, BC3s use a ramp and an assistant. BC2s have no other equipment, and they don't have an assistant on call with them either. So they do everything themselves, line up their chair. They're entirely independent.
So Yeung takes the initiative. She has the blue. Yep. Got to be careful not to let those wheels stray out of the box, Rob.
No. Your ball will be retracted, and you'll suffer a two-shot penalty. Whether it's over the front, over the side, over the back, if it's touching a line, it's a retracted ball and a two-shot penalty.
See how closely
I was
grouped
just
they are.
going to say, you can see
put a hanky over those.
We're going to have a very tight game here. And they will push and noodle and nudge balls around. There you go.
Well done.
She now holds shot.
So back across to Karen or Kwok. So Yeung. So Willam wants to have a little look here.
Yes. Often the athletes want to come out to see if one or both of the balls is touching. That can often help them decide what kind of shot they want to play. Say she would have been coming out to see whether her opponent's red ball was actually touching that jack or was just short of it.
Yes, the ball behaves differently if it's jammed against the jack as opposed to just a centimetre off it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if it's jammed against the jack, then you're trying to move two balls. Whereas if it's just short of the jack, you've got scope there just to push yours up. So the power of the shot varies greatly. Yeah, so she's really given that some, and she's pushed that jack to the back now. It's opened it up a bit. She may even decide to try and push that front blue one of hers through on her next shot.
Stays with her though. There's Kwok still holding.
Yes, and she'd be happy with that, getting another crack at it. Yep.
And she promoted it far enough.
I don't think so. But what would I know? He's the referee, he's going to measure.
Yep. When the balls are very close to the jack or touching, they'll pull out a little torch to see if there's space between.
Yes. Sometimes that's the only way to find out. So you can see there, both girls are using Mamaku balls, which come from New Zealand, and they're well worn. So those girls have had those for a long time.
Do they get better with age?
They do. The athletes,
balls,
athletes prefer them older. They tend to soften up and run truer, and athletes are able to pull them up quicker when they want to play a shot rather than just rolling down the court like an apple.
So Kwok obliged to play, which means that Yeung is holding. Good contact on her own, and we'll come across to Yeung now. In this category, in the BC2s, you've got 4 of the world's top 7.
Yeah, we're either very lucky or very unlucky here in this region. I think in the BC1 category, in the top 20, we've got 9 in the top 20. BC2, it's something like 8 or 9. So it's a very, very strong region. So our guys who are going to make it through to the quarters have done quite a job.
I think one of the great things about this sport, Rob, is that it's an equal playing field for men and women.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, often some of the best players in the world are, in fact, the second highest ranked player here in the BC2 category is a girl from Korea, and she's dynamite. So she's really left the door open for her opponent here.
So just a question being asked of referee Chung Yong-hoon. And Karen wants a look.
They often get a very different perspective looking at the balls from behind them, looking back towards their box. They get a very different perspective on what lies in front of them.
So Hui Lam is giving her full attention, and what she makes of that. What are her options here?
I think, as I said, her opponent has left the gate wide open, so I think she'll either try and push that blue that's closest in the front. I think she might try and give that a bit of a shove up, but then she's got quite an open area there to come in beside the jack as well, with all of her opponents, most of her opponents' balls behind the jack. So if she can load up the front of that jack, she can really pick up a few points here. And going into the second end with a 3 or 4 shot lead.
Yeung, there's a big delivery coming up here.
No, she wouldn't be happy with that.
No, it's...
Yes, that was her last ball.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, she'd be disappointed with that. That gate was left wide open for her there, and she's missed a golden opportunity there.
They're so tightly gripped, you think they'd gone up and placed them there.
Yeah,
So
they look like they've come out of an egg cart.
Yeah, referee just seeking agreement about which ones to measure. So it's a very similar process to the sport of bowls, and it has ingredients of bocce and lawn bowls.
Yep, certainly adapted from those for athletes with or Paralympic athletes. So it looks as though she's picked up 2 there.
So Wilam just wait for confirmation. A distracting noise from court nearby. And 2 blue it is indeed for Yeung. So she wins the first end against a fellow competitor from Hong Kong, Kwok. And on rankings, she probably should be in front, but that was pretty tight there for a while.
It was, and again, disturbing that jack and pushing that jack around can make a huge difference to how an end unfolds.
You see the world #1 in this category, Yeung, dual London Paralympic silver medalist. He's from China.
I hope we get him on one of the show courts during the quarterfinals or semi-finals, because he's something else to watch. He really is.
Start of the second end in this BC2 individual match. Yeung and Kwok, and Yeung, of course, favouring her side. About a couple of feet, 3 feet maybe inside the court.
That's a great shot. That's perfect.
It's right on the approach angle for her opponent.
Exactly. She'd pay money to have that. She'd pay money for that. That's a great shot.
I don't think she did.
No, I don't think she did either.
We'd have seen it.
Yeah.
They're right in front of us. We've got the perfect position here.
We'd have got our cut, surely. So she's going to go hard. Have to go hard at this.
There's such a range of shots that they have to master, isn't there, Robert? And the longer you watch this sport, the more you realise there is to it.
Yeah, and without wanting to focus on the disability, but to see athletes with a disability of this level being able to do what they do is just, it's phenomenal. So yeah, they're athletes first and have a disability second when you see the shots they play and the strategies they employ.
No, I think that's a really important message that we have to keep sending out there, that they're athletes first.
Oh, absolutely. If you see how long and hard they train, yeah, if you see it firsthand, you're left in no doubt that they're athletes first.
I think that Karen Kwok's going to be too happy with the way things are going here.
And the disappointing thing for her, and probably her coach, is she's played the same shot 3 times and hasn't moved a chair. hasn't adjusted at all. So
And into
that's
defensive
what
mode
she was.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what she was trying to do. The first of those other 3 balls.
So 4 there. There's one out of court as well, wasn't
Yeah,
there? So
that's
this
correct.
is the
That's
last.
her last. Yes. So she's not leaving a lot for her opponent to get rid of now. She's leaving 2 balls. Her opponent gets rid of 1 or both of those with a couple of balls. She can really load this jack up.
So Yeung, it's all there for her if she can find the accuracy. Just got a couple to aim at, get rid of, and build a good count here.
There goes the first one.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable accuracy.
To be able to pick that off without disturbing your own ball, it's incredible.
She's still got 1 red one there she'd like to dispose of.
I would have thought she'd have taken that out of play too, unless she's put that second blue one in front to protect the jack and her first blue ball to give it some more protection. And now maybe she's going to drive at the red. Yep, that's what
she
doing.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
What a strategist and what execution too.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a
Incredible.
clinic she's putting on.
Incredible.
The BC2s get through their ends a little quicker than the rampies because they've got less equipment to deal with.
That's right, and again, because of the level of their disability too, it's they can get things done quicker. And yeah, you're right. There's no equipment to line up. That's your chair, pick the ball up, and let rip.
Now Yeung wants to have a little look here just to see how many she can squeeze out of this.
That's right. She wants to know what the scoring zone is around that jack, and what she has to beat so she doesn't have to get too accurate here to pick up another couple of shots. She just has to be inside that closest red, which is a good foot away. So
so he pulls up inside or rests one on
the front,
or even rest one on one of the closest red. But
exactly,
it's debatable which is closer. Those two. Decision time. I think Kwok was a little impatient, where she just kept missing with the intended target, and it's opened the door here.
And look at how much time she still had left on the clock. 3:23. That 3 minutes are no good to her now. She could have used those up with wheeling herself to the back of the box and having a bit of time out. But that 3 minutes is wasted now. She'll never get that back.
Yeung, by contrast, just taking her time here,
absolutely,
getting absolutely settled.
So you see her ball is numbered. So most of the athletes will number all of their balls so they know which are the firmest and which are the softest. Yeah, great job. Great job.
That's at least 3.
So that's a big tell when you look at that scoreboard and see how much time Kwok has left, and Yeung is approaching her last minute, still hasn't played her last ball.
Well, the coach will be on to her about that.
You would think
so.
Yeah, I mean she's rushed that even for a BC2 to get rid of all her balls in a minute, a little over a minute and a half, and for not very many of them to be good shots. Neither her nor her coach will be happy with that.
Yeah, the BC2s have 5 minutes.
That's correct.
As opposed to 6 for the BC3s. There should be another scoring ball. Oh, it is.
There it is. Great job.
And there we go. That's the end of the second end. We'll just confirm the count. It's 4 to blue. So another 4 to Yeung, and that takes her out to a handsome lead of 6-0 after 2 ends. She's looks on the way.
Difficult. Yeah, it's going to make it a little difficult.
Yeah, well, more here from the Boccia Championships in just a few moments. Welcome back to the Sydney Olympic Park Sports Centre and to the 2013 Asia and Oceania Boccia Championships. And this is a BC2 match between two athletes from Hong Kong. Yeung in the light blue tracksuit, and she holds a 6-2 lead over Kwok. And Karen has had the jack in this third end and has sent it down her side as usual. Oh, and what a delivery from Yeung. She's really showing the world class here. She's number 6 in the world, and she's put her first ball right on the jack with unerring accuracy. I already detected perhaps in the previous end a little bit of frustration from Karen Kwok, who took her shots a little quickly. So Kwok needs a good one here. It's not a bad effort. It may have just jammed the blue ball against the jack a little tighter, and so she's going to have to play again. So you keep playing until you've got the shot back from your opponent, until you run out of balls, 6 each in these individual events. So again, mucking around between shots, and oh, just a little unlucky there, finding the hole, and through she goes. It's just all working against her at the moment. Karen Kwok must feel. We're just seeing the difference between number 6 in the world and number 15 in the world. Yeung just finds the jack so effortlessly.
Yeah, it seems so, doesn't it?
Again, this mistake of playing the same shot with it. You play the same shot, you'll get the same result.
That's right, yeah, and you can see that her touch is off. For a player of her ranking to be that far out with her touch and her feel for the court. I don't know whether she may be coming back from an injury or a time away from the sport, I'm not sure.
Different tactic.
Yeah.
Can you explain that one for us?
Well, she's tried to bomb the jack and push it back against those 2 reds she has in the back. She'd made the error of putting balls behind the jack, so her next best option from there was to try and bomb the jack, and she didn't miss by much. But if she'd have hit that jack on the full, she'd have pushed it back against those 2 reds, and she'd be holding 2 now. Now the question is, will she try the same shot again? No, she's just going to try and defend it. But again, because that, I think, looks like the closest ball of hers is that one down the left-hand side. If that gets picked off, there's there's quite some scoring opportunities around that jack. Oh, sorry, no, down the right-hand side is the nearest. If she can get rid of those two either side of the jack, she's got a ball width scoring zone all the way around the jack, which really, she could really put this match to bed.
So Yeung, 2 in the first end, 4 in the second. She's going to pick up another handful here.
And really all she needs to do is pick up 1 here and she's unbeatable.
And so once you get out by more than 6, are there some formats where you would declare the game? They're obviously after the shots for and against here. But
in they wouldn't declare the game, but in a quarter-final, the opponent, the person who's in front may say, when it comes to their shot, they'll throw off, or they'll obviously not try very hard, or yeah, they'll decide to play none of their balls. They can, they have that option if they wish. Their competitive nature probably wouldn't allow them to do that, but
Hui Lam just missed the intended target there, a very small error, and we've seen virtually none from her.
No, she
doesn't seem fair to focus on it.
We're being rather picky, aren't we?
No, she's played a great game so far.
She looks like she's coming down that right-hand side of hers again. There it is. Ooh.
Oh, and again she's
I thought she was going to squeeze through there. But now she may have something to push up here. If that, depending where that ball has finished, yeah, she's got something to shove into that gap now.
She was just looking for that hole, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And didn't find it. Whereas opponent found the hole and didn't want it.
The vagaries of Boccia.
There you go. She's made some contact on that second closest shot.
That'll be enough, I think, to get her another. Yeah.
Well done.
And in fact, if she goes hard at that outside blue that's resting against that red at the back, she may be able to get enough on that to get herself 3 shots here, if she chooses to be so greedy.
Body language not so great from Kwok, who looks like a beaten competitor here.
She does. And again, we don't know what her circumstances were coming into this tournament. She may be coming back from an injury or time away from the sport or an illness, because it's unusual to see someone of her calibre miss the target. So, that's a great,
great shot.
A great shot.
Oh, we love Yeung.
And you can see that she moved herself all the way to almost all the way to the back of her box there to get the angle to come down the left-hand side. That's a great. That's how you want to play Boccia.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can see where she's positioned in her box there, right down towards the back.
In those circumstances, can you ask your opponent to move out of your line?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can only ask your opponent to move so far as they are still inside their box.
Of course. Yeah.
You can ask them to come all the way, depending on the circumstances, but you can ask them to come all the way to the back and turn their chair sideways to just get that extra little bit of angle.
Once more.
No.
Close.
Clip that front red.
She's missed by a centimetre or two with a couple of deliveries there, but as we remarked, that's being really picky.
Yeah,
She's a world-class player, producing a world-class performance here.
Yeah.
So once again, referee Chung Yong Hoon does the duties. Very carefully. Out it comes. What do you think is going to be the count here, Rob?
Well, I think it's 3, but he's moving balls so that he's got a chance to measure that blue there that you see he's measuring now. That's his. That was his objective, to get enough space to be able to measure that correctly, right down at the centre outside edge of the balls. And assuming that's going to be measured against, yes, that red in front. Oh, that's pretty tight.
And if Chung Young-hoon was unable to tell which was closer, what's the next step of measuring?
That would just be 2 blue. Or 3 blue, I beg your pardon. The one that's there that isn't in anyone's way.
3. That's agreed. That's an unbeatable
Yes.
lead.
9-0.
So 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. And I don't think Hui Lam Yeung would have been expecting such an easy day at the office.
Well, yeah, no, I think they would obviously play against each other fairly regularly, I would think, and she would know her opponent fairly well. But I think even by her admission, her opponent hasn't played to the best of her ability today.
Well, scouting your opponent has got to be a key part of the game, hasn't it, Rob? You want to know if they're more comfortable playing short or long.
Oh, definitely. And once you get found out and you're exposed on court, every other player sees it too. So the information is quickly shared whether you intend to or not.
Yeah, simple. Don't have any weaknesses.
No, well, that's right. I mean, how hard can the sport be? Throw a white ball and put a red ball on the front of it.
This is another important difference, isn't it, between, say, Boccia and bowls, where you carry your own jack.
Yes. And there are arguments for and against that. Yeah. But I like the fact that each player has their own jack. In a teams event, there's only one jack per team, so each individual player on a team doesn't have their own jack. Okay. Can she really close this one out? And I don't know how she's going in her pool, but this certainly won't do her for and against anyhow. That's sensational, isn't it? She's nailed both her jacks. She has absolutely nailed both her jacks.
Karen must be thinking, can I just go now?
Yes. Yeah, taxi.
Karen Kwok having a go at it. That's a
nice job.
Tremendous effort, and just to release the jack now. It's back out into open play.
She still may not have the angle on it, but at least she's got some space around it where she can.
We won't know, of course, whether she was going for that little piece of the jack she could see, or full contact on the blue ball. She won't tell us later either.
No, and look, and certainly our skills acquisition guy, Ross Pinder, tells our players he doesn't care how you release the jack, as long as you release the jack. I don't care whether you hit the ball in front or the jack itself, or hit them both. Anything's good enough as long as the objective is achieved. And yeah, no one's going to pick on you whether you're aiming for the blue or the white, as long as you get the job done.
Kwok again. She's not having a lot of joy today, but she's got one now to work off.
Yeah, true. Just flicking that blue on the way through may have been enough to give her a slightly better look at the jack. She'd be hoping she's going to get another shot at this. She'd be hoping that she's actually not holding a shot here, because she's left a wide open jack for her opponent if that's the case.
Chung Young-hoon, the referee, and at this level we don't see referees officiating matches where there are athletes from the same country as the referee.
No, definitely not. And the directive is given to the referees at the start of the tournament. If you get into the call room and find that you're refereeing one of your athletes, you need to swap with another ref, and they all abide by that.
Hui Lam now.
Yep.
Just promotes her own.
She's not missing much today, is she?
She's in pretty intimidating form. I think with the world number one, Yeung, would do well to pay some attention here to this form of Hui Lam.
She hasn't. Yeah, I struggle to think of a shot that she's missed today. Actually, I don't know that she's missed many, if any, quite frankly.
Well, we did get picky in the previous end.
Well, yes,
but she soon backed it up with the conversion shot. So.
Yeah, Karen will be very, very disappointed with that shot. That's not what we've come to expect from her.
In the fourth and final end, the match is out of reach for Karen Kwok. I suppose the nasty thing about it from her point of view is the bagel sitting next to her name on the scoreboard.
Yes.
0 hertz.
Absolutely. And but from her opponent's point of view, depending on where she's currently sitting in her pool, this will do wonders for her for and against and her chances of going through to the quarters. Particularly if you can put another few on it here. So Karen's out of balls here. This is a real chance for her to really load this jack up. Yep.
22 competitors in this BC2 singles individual event.
Yep. And I think they're broken up into 3 pools of 5 and 2 of 4, I think. So the winner out of each pool will go through, and then the top 3 qualifiers across all pools after that. Bang.
It's going to be one of the more one-sided matches we've had this week.
Totally unexpected, I have to say. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's at least 3.
Yeah, even given that Karen's not playing her best boccia here, I would never have expected this kind of result, particularly up against a countryman.
And another one to come. Can she squeeze an extra shot out of this? Oh, she had a go.
Trying to squeeze too much juice out of the lemon.
She might have just shifted
moved that red enough.
Yeah, enough to
allow. Yeah, actually. Yeah, well, she's definitely 3. She may pick up 4. If she's just flicked that red enough to allow that 4th closest blue there.
Maybe it skidded across the floor a touch, but we'll soon have the answer out of Yeung, referee. What about the cost of a set of high-quality boccia balls, Rob?
Anywhere from around $480 up to nearly $1,000.
My goodness, I had no idea how that expensive.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap. The Handy Lifes, which are a very popular ball from Denmark, we at Boccia Australia buy them in bulk, so we get them a little cheaper, and we're able to sell them at $480 a set. But the Boccas from Portugal can be up to $700-800 a set.
4 blue.
4 blue. So she did do enough, Steve, on that red.
So final score reading 13-0 in favour of Yeung over Karen Kwok. Hong Kong was always going to be the winner out of this one, but not by the margin we were expecting there.
It's quite emphatic.
Yeah. So that's a tremendous game put together by Hui Lam, and number 6 in the world, and playing like a world-ranked player as well. Disappointment though for Karen Kwok, just didn't bring her best game today.
It didn't look like it, no. She'd be very, very disappointed in that, I would think.
So we're just past the middle of the day here at Homebush, and confirming for you that very lopsided result in favour of Hui Lam Yeung, 13-0 over Karen Kwok in the BC2 category.